Yo, what's up everyone? Welcome to the second episode of Your Weekly Duo. Today, we're going to go through myself and Adam's all-time Premier League team, and we're also going to be talking about the upcoming Champions League fixtures, and we are just going to talk about them, tell you our predictions for the scores, and what we think is going to happen in the upcoming Champions League first round games of the last 16. So you don't want to miss that. That'll be kind of at the end, but first of all, we are going to talk about our best ever teams to ever play in the Premier League. So Adam, mate, how are you doing today?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, pal. I'm good, thanks. So, first of all, we are going to start with Adam. We're just going to go through Adam's best team of all time, see what his opinions are, and then we'll move on to myself, and we'll just talk about each player individually and why we have chosen them, because, yeah, there are opinions then. And also, guys, just in the comment sections down below, if you had to make any changes to either myself or Adam's team, tell us what you would change with your players, because, yeah, we're interested to find out. And as always, if you've got any future topics you would like to see, make sure to put them down below in the comments. And yeah, hope to see you there. Right, Adam, what is...
Right, we have gone with our Premier League 11. And actually, do you know what someone did put in the comments, and I'll give them a shout out right now. If I get the video up, I do apologise. In the comments section, someone did request to do Premier League 11, and it was Will Woodward.
Will.
Thank you for your comment, mate. Yeah, we're doing the best Premier League 11 requested by you this week, as Mal said, down in the comments if you got any other subjects. But we are starting with my team, and I'll send over to my team now. It's looking juicy. I mean, I am a Liverpool fan, yes. But it's got a lot of Man U players in there, as you can see. First in goal, I've gone with Peter Schmeichel. I mean, can anyone argue with that? Can you argue with that?
I can't argue with that.
Peter Schmeichel,
goalkeeper. Coming from a goalkeeper myself as well.
Yeah,
I've just got to admit, what an unbelievable goalkeeper.
Absolutely outstanding. I mean, he even scored goals.
Yeah, I know.
He even scored goals.
Yeah.
I think he scored like 8 in his career or something like that, but I haven't got the fact up. But I do have. He's won 5 Premier League titles with Manchester United.
Wow.
He's got 310 appearances and 128 clean sheets. That is just... That ratio of 310 appearances and 128 clean sheets is absolutely outstanding.
It's just sublime. It's just absolutely sublime. There's... We've both picked the same goalkeeper, haven't we? And do you know what? There's not a better goalkeeper that could have been that has ever played in the Premiership.
No, I don't think. I mean, that's just probably Spurs it feels, but it's fine. Yeah, I mean Schmeichel. If you see, just go and watch some clips of him. I mean, even if you see his goals, it's just mental for a goalkeeper. Yeah, he was just. I mean, Man U have had really good goalkeepers. They've had Van der Sar, who I could have included. To be honest, it was either Schmeichel, Seaman, or Van der Sar, and I went with Schmeichel. Just go and watch some clips on YouTube. He's just absolutely outstanding. And also, Man U have had David De Gea, so they've had Schmeichel, David De Gea, and Van der Sar. So they had really good keepers over the decades.
Keepers that have just been unreal, and that's the quality that Manchester United always have. They're always looking for big goalkeepers, and that's the thing that. At the moment, if De Gea does go with Manchester United, they'll be going after a massive, big goalkeeper because they're known for having big goalkeepers. They've never had like a poor goalkeeper, really. No. And under Sir Alex Ferguson, they've just had so many outstanding goalkeepers, and it's just honestly sublime. Like goalkeepers such as Peter Schmeichel.
Do you know who is underrated? Man U's subkeeper Romero. Honestly, whenever he plays for Man U, he's so good. Sometimes even better than De Gea. But he's so underrated. I don't know whether he's Argentina's number 1. I mean, they've got Rulli from Montpellier, but I'm not sure if he still plays as number 1. Caballero, is he number 1? No, I don't think he is. He's old.
He's known for his penalties, isn't he?
Don't say that. Right, what we do is we'll move on to the right back position. We have gone for Gary Neville. I mean, Mr. Reliable, as he's known from Man U fans. He wasn't the most technically gifted player, as he knows himself, but he was just exactly that, Mr. Reliable. He was just so solid for Manchester United. I don't think... I mean, obviously I'll put him in my team because I think he was the best, but there hasn't been that many amazing right-backs. But for Man U, 12 Premier League titles, 2 Champions Leagues, 4 FA Cups. I mean, he's got more trophies, but they're just the standout ones, and he was absolutely outstanding for Man U. They had Phil Neville as well, but Phil Neville couldn't get a spot over Gary Neville. I mean, what other good right backs are there to grace the Premier League? That's the thing, you know. At the moment, we've got players coming up like Trent Alexander-Arnold, currently in the Liverpool team, who's so young but just giving so many mental moments already in his career. Played in 2 Champions League finals, got a Champions League medal, outstanding player. But again, looking back, there's not actually that many right backs that have graced the Premier League that have been world class, and the only player to really come across in that category is Gary Neville. Yeah, I don't think you can class. I mean, I think Trent Alexander-Arnold is better player than Gary Neville. What he was, he's more gifted. But I don't think, because just what Neville's won, all the trophies. I don't think you can overrule.
And again, you know, Gary he's finished his career, and what a career, by the way. What an unreal career. So many trophies in his career. And, you know, Trent Alexander-Arnold's just starting his career and already played in 2 Champions League finals, which is absolutely insane.
Yeah, absolutely mental. Right, I'm going to move on to the two centre halves. John Terry. I mean, every Chelsea fan loves this guy. Maybe not Wayne Bridge, but 5 Premier League titles, 1 Champions League. I remember watching that game against Bayern Munich. That was unreal game when
I remember,
the Drogba header. That was unreal. I also remember when Terry missed the pen and hit the post. Do you remember that against Man U in the final? I think that was the Champions League that... Well, one of them that Gary Neville won. He won in, obviously, was it 99-2000 season? You know, when he scored 2.
In Russia. Wasn't it in Moscow? Or...
I'm not sure, but they scored 2 in the last few minutes, didn't they? But yeah, they lost that one. He scored... I mean, Terry's got 5 titles, Premier League, 1 Champions League, 4 FA Cups. Same FA Cups as Gary Neville. It's just mental. And he spent 19 years at the club after moving to Aston Villa. No, Nottingham Forest, wasn't it, on loan, and then he went to Aston Villa.
Yeah.
And now he's the assistant manager for Aston Villa. So he's had a very, very good career with Chelsea. I mean, not the quickest, but such a rock solid, great defender. Scary
to come up against.
I mean, there was Jaap Stam. It was scary, but John Terry was absolutely outstanding as a player. Next to him, I've gone Nemanja Vidic. I mean, Jaap Stam and him are probably the scariest centre backs you'll ever see. I think, anyway. Nemanja Vidic, he won 5 titles, Champions League. He'll play the year at Man U twice as well. And that's, to be honest, I don't know. I'm not sure whether it's play the year the Premier League or Man U. I think it's Man U, but him again, absolutely outstanding. Miles, he was an amazing player, wasn't he?
Sensational player,
just
unreal.
So
just, again, just scary for any attacker. You know, how do they wriggle away from a defender such as Nemanja Vidic?
I mean, it was either him or Rio. I mean, them two at the back. Did they play together? I think they did, didn't they? Yeah, they definitely did.
They definitely did. Yeah.
Like 10 years ago. Yeah, them two at the back. I don't think Man U had a better partnership. I mean, there was I think it was Jaap Stam and Gary Pallister, was it? They were really good. Or it might have been Steve Bruce and Gary Pallister. I'm not sure anyway. But them two were really good together. Vidic, absolutely outstanding. Right, if we move to the left back position, I mean, I don't think anyone can argue with this. Ashley Cole, I mean, absolutely outstanding. Arsenal, Chelsea player, mainly Chelsea. He won 3 Premier League titles, 1 Champions League, 7 FA Cups, a Europa League, and a Carling Cup. Well, it's the English Cup, but at the time it was called the Carling Cup. What's it called now? Carabao Cup?
Yeah, the Carabao Cup.
Carabao Cup.
No, now, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was named the Carling Cup back then, but yeah, Ashley Cole again. So good. everything. Well,
All-rounded.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't the best finisher, but who cares? He's a left back. He was just so solid. I mean, left backs. There's been Evra. That's it really. Who can think on the top of my head? Can you think of any?
That could come close to Ashley Cole. Yeah, Patrice Evra is the one I'd say that is.
It's close.
Close.
Yeah. Ashley Cole absolutely outstanding for England as well. There was Leighton Baines, but I think Ashley Cole was always getting above.
Number one.
Yeah, he was always number one. Right, for the midfield now, that's defence and goalkeeper done. For right mid, I mean, as you can see, Cristiano Ronaldo, absolutely outstanding. I mean, for what he's done for Man U is only a small percentage of what he's done in his career. And for Man U, he's absolutely incredible. I mean, for someone that age, I don't think there's been, maybe him and Brazilian Ronaldo, maybe Mbappe, but Mbappe hasn't won much, well, apart from the World Cup. But I don't think there's been many players around that age to be that good and perform that well. Obviously, it's Messi, but I think both Ronaldos were much better at that age. And that free kick against Portsmouth, absolutely outstanding. That goal against was it Sporting or Porto? Champions League.
Against Porto.
Porto.
Yeah, it was Porto
from about 40 yards. Just, I think he was off balance as well. Just absolutely incredible. Ronaldo, just with Man U, won 3 Premier League titles. He got the Ballon d'Or. He's got the Player of the Year twice in the Premier League. He got the Champions League and FA Cup, and the Golden Boot twice. That is just. I'm not sure how many years he was at Man U. Was it about 5, 6?
Yeah, I'd say around that.
5, 6 years. Well, he moved to Real Madrid about 2009, wasn't it?
Do you know what? What's a signing? You know, it's Sir Alex Ferguson again.
Yeah.
Bringing in the goods for Manchester United. What Sir Alex Ferguson did at Manchester United in the time he was there will never be topped by any manager ever in football.
Best ever manager to grace the game.
Just sensational.
Best ever manager. Absolutely incredible. I mean, there's some of the teams that Ferguson had. He had like Anderson, Carrick. I mean, Carrick was solid, but
Butner.
Exactly, Butner.
Yeah. Get them playing well.
The Fabio and Rafael, the twins. I mean, and he would still get unbelievable performances, titles. It was just for what he could get out of the players he had. Like Kagawa. I mean, he was.
Yeah.
Did he win the league that year with Kagawa? I'm not sure.
Not too sure, but again, great player.
I know. At the time, anyway, from Dortmund, but yeah, Alex Ferguson was incredible. Yeah, and he signed Ronaldo, Nani from Sporting. Well, now Bruno Fernandes come from Sporting as well. Who knows what he'll be like? But Nani again, he was incredible. But for right mids instead of Ronaldo, I honestly don't think there was Beckham maybe. But I think Ronaldo was better than Beckham.
And again, Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney's brought in from.
Well, he's not a right mid, is he?
No, he's not. He's not. But another great player.
Yeah, absolutely outstanding. He could have been. He was an option for me on my 11, but unfortunately never got slotted. So for the 2 central midfielders in my 4-4-2 is Steven Gerrard, of course. I mean, didn't win any Premier Leagues, which is sad. I mean, we had the chance in 2014, and it didn't go well. I mean, I don't want to even talk about that Demba Ba goal, but
talking about Gerrard coming so close to the Premiership, but you know, he didn't win a Premiership, but also we've got to look at what Brendan Rodgers did with that Liverpool team.
Exactly, and
he's also proven that now today, the skills that he has as a manager. He came to Liverpool with, you know, not many tools, and he got them second in the Premiership. That is incredible. With like,
well, I think the third now.
Third now, all right. And the likes of John Flanagan was in the team then. Who else was getting played then? Lallana.
Oh, sorry.
No, Lallana. Henderson. When he was, you know, just not well known as a great, as the captain that he is today for Liverpool.
Yeah.
He's just an absolute workhorse in that Liverpool team. But again, that's how close Gerrard did get to a Premiership, but he didn't for Liverpool. He obviously won the Champions League.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Which
He got 2 FA
sensational.
Cups, 3 English Cups, and a UEFA Cup. But yeah, what I was saying then, I thought you were talking about Leicester in the Premier League. I didn't realise you were talking about Liverpool. When I said the third now.
Oh right, yeah.
But yeah, Gerrard. Obviously, he was rumoured to go elsewhere. Chelsea.
Fine.
Yeah. But he really wanted that Premier League. I know he's a Scouser and Liverpool born and bred, but you obviously you want to play with your club, but obviously you just didn't think they'll get there to get a Premier League title, which they didn't. That's why he was rumoured to go because he wanted to win the league, and Chelsea were winning the league. With Drogba, Lampard.
Mourinho was well after Gerrard, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was well after him. But yeah, Gerrard is in my team. Let me know who would you put in the comments. But I've partnered Gerrard with Scholes. Scholes, probably, I mean, there's Bergkamp, but Scholes was unbelievable with the ball, passer of ball. If you even look, I think it's like the class of 92 or something versus Man City, or it might have been, no, do you know what it was? It was that, but I think it was Company's testimonial. And Scholes in that game looked better than most Premier League midfielders. And he's what, 45, 46? Just the stuff that he was doing, he's still got it, obviously. But he was just absolutely incredible. With Man U, 11 Premier League titles, 2 Champions Leagues, 4 FA Cups, and 3 English Cups. Him and Beckham, and who else was in the midfield? Like Nicky Butt, Roy Keane, absolutely unbelievable. He's another player, Nicky Butt, he's not really talked about. He was absolutely brilliant for Man U. But I don't know whether Nicky Butt was a bit more attacking. I'm not sure because I didn't really. I've only seen clips, and I've heard things. So yeah, I've gone with Scholes. Absolutely incredible. Him and Gerrard's midfield, absolutely outstanding. Just imagine this 11. These players I've mentioned so far. Just imagine this in one team. You win the league every year. Right, to finish off the midfield, I've gone in left mid for Giggs. Him, the Welsh wizard, absolutely incredible. I mean, you could have placed Henry left wing, but no. There's obviously Robert Pires. There's is there any other left mids? Mark Overmars. There's a decent amount of left mids in the Premier League, and Giggs he stands out for me. Absolutely incredible. He got 13 league titles with Man U, 2 Player of the Years, 2 Champions League, 4 FA Cups. It's very similar with all the Man U players. So, but he did get 13, which is the most in this team. But what he was so quick, he was one dimensional with his left foot, but he couldn't half whip a ball in. He was so quick, so direct, so good at dribbling, so good at passing. Like I said, with the crossing, absolutely outstanding. All right, to finish this team off, my 11. I've gone with Henry and Shearer. Now, Henry, he won the World Cup in 1998 with France. Absolutely incredible player. Probably the best player with a ball that man with a ball is probably the best ever in the Premier League, I would say. That goal at Highbury, I'm not sure who it was against. It might have been Leeds. But that goal where it came to him on the floor, chipped and then turned and volleyed top corner. Do you remember that, Miles? Have you seen that goal?
Yeah, I've seen that.
That goal. It's just to even attempt that. I mean, if I tried it, even say a Premier League striker.
I don't think any Premier League striker these days would be able to do that.
Exactly. Just to even attempt it, I mean, it's just insane. He was so tall, so strong, so quick, such an amazing finisher. Him and Dennis Bergkamp were absolutely incredible. And I could have went with Bergkamp in this team. There's so many. The two strikers were the hardest ones to pick. There's so many good strikers that have graced the Premier League. And yeah, Henry, the World Cup, 2 Premier Leagues. He won the Euros and 3 FA Cups. But I think France, from when Henry was playing, he was so good for France. He carried them with the World Cup. Well, he was good for the in the World Cup side, but the Euros, he was absolutely incredible. I think that was the one in, was it 2008? Did France win it? It was in Germany, I think, 2008. France might have won that one, I'm not sure, but he was absolutely outstanding. He starts off on the left for Monaco, went to the Premier League, went to Arsenal, put up front, absolutely incredible. And this final player, the best finisher to ever grace the Premier League, I would say, Alan Shearer. He's got 1 Premier League title. I think that was in the late 90s with Blackburn, I think. He's got 44, this is in the Premier League, this stat, 441 games, 260 goals, which is the Premier League all-time goal scorer by about 60 goals, I think, or 65 goals. Absolutely incredible. I mean, Aguero, the only current one there is Aguero, and I think he's like 5th. So I honestly don't think he's going to get there anytime soon. I think Aguero's about 31, 32, isn't he?
Yeah, he's knocking on now, Aguero, but still world-class player.
Absolutely insane. But yeah, even Harry Kane, I mean, he's only... How old's Harry Kane now? 25? 26?
Yeah. So getting into his prime, really.
Yeah.
Harry Kane. And, again, does it for England, does it in the Premier League.
Yeah.
But again, suffers from injuries.
Exactly.
Which is a big problem for him.
Yeah, I think I think the move for him is Man U, really. If he wants to become a legend, get above Alan Shearer, all-time Premier League goal scorers, I think he wants to stay in the Premier League, I think, to do that, and I don't think he'll do that at Spurs. I think he's got to go to Man U. I think that Man U have got to break the bank, go for Kane, but again, the injuries could be a problem. Yeah, but there you go, Miles. There is my Premier League 11. And what do you think? What do you think of my Premier League 11, mate?
Well, it would be any team in the world currently. Believe me, just all 11 players in your team there, mate. Just all, they're just in that category of world-class players. Just all absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Love to see them play football. They're just insane. Great players.
If I had to pick one player in that squad, probably my favourite player. Let's see, Schmeichel, Neville, Terry, Vidic, Cole, Ronaldo, Gerrard, Scholes, Giggs, Henry and Shearer. I think I'd have to go Henry. He was just a different specimen with the ball. Honestly, he was incredible. Now, Miles, do you want to go? Should we go over to your team? And you can talk about your team, mate.
Yeah, we will. Let's do.
Let's go over to your team. Right, Miles, you're on the screen, mate. Your team. Tell us a bit about your team, mate.
Yeah, this is my team, okay? This is my starting 11. This is my all-time best Premier League 11. Starting in goal, the same as Adam, is Peter Schmeichel. Again, as we talked about him at the beginning with Adam, just a unreal goalkeeper. And as a goalkeeper myself, just watching clips of what he's done, and again, as the goals he scored for a goalkeeper, which is just mega insane, is just outstanding. By far the best goalkeeper I think the Premier League's ever seen, and the best goalkeeper we've ever seen in English football, and I think the best goalkeeper we will ever see. I don't think we will ever see a better goalkeeper in the Premiership than Schmeichel, personally. And going into right back, the same as you, mate. I went with Gary Neville.
Yep.
As we talked again, not too many right backs that were world class.
Yep.
But looking back at the Man United team, again, Sir Alex Ferguson brought in so many players and just made them just world-class players. And again, Gary Neville is in that category. And again, as Adam said before, he wasn't the best player in the world, but he knows that himself, and he knows that
Mr. Reliable.
He was, Mr. Reliable, and so reliable in the right back position. Could trust him as a right back.
Yeah.
United could for years, and again, just great player. now moving on to my centre backs, and this was the hard one for me. So, of course, I was going to put this man in, and that is Nemanja Vidic. Now, again, for Manchester United, just for strikers, any striker that ever come against him, and currently any striker, I think Messi or Ronaldo would even struggle these days to go past that man. He's just an absolute monster to come against. There's no other words for that. An absolute monster is what I would say for that about Nemanja Vidic. He's just sensational centre-back, and just I think he made strikers he made them scared of him. He was an absolute monster at that back for Manchester United for so many years.
So strong.
And just dominated the defence, and by far I would say the best defender in the Premiership.
Bold statement.
Now moving on to bold statement. But again, we are seeing Virgil van Dijk currently, who is, I think, could be living up to that potential of Nemanja Vidic. He's still got time to go at Liverpool. He's got a Champions League under his belt. Yeah. And I think he needs to get that Premiership, though.
I think he needs a couple.
Yeah, he does. He needs about 2 or 3 Premiership. Maybe a few cheeky Carabao Cups, FA Cups in there as well. But again, Nemanja Vidic, what a player. Now moving on to my other centre-back is the man, Sol Campbell. He was the manager of Macclesfield. A bit close to the heart there. I'm a Mac boy myself, so yeah, we do like that. And again, I think he's an absolute beast, an absolute monster at that back. And I think if he was to go up with Nemanja Vidic at the back, I don't think any player would score against them two. They would just be absolutely insane. And yeah, I think he'd scare a lot of strikers. Yeah. And just a great player. We saw him playing Champions Leagues. Again, he didn't actually win a Champions League trophy. We saw him. Who did he play against? Was it Barcelona in the Champions League final?
I think so.
He scored. Yeah, he scored. Again, a great player. Not a great manager though. But yeah, a great player.
Not the best on the ball. I mean, Rio Ferdinand was immense on the ball, I would say, for a centre back. But Sol Campbell and Vidic were just incredible defenders. Not the best on the ball, but absolutely outstanding defenders.
Yeah, and that's why I've gone for them too. I think they would just scare anyone.
Exactly.
Them two at the back.
Rock hard.
Yeah. Going left back, Ashley Cole, the same as you, mate. Do you know what? For the exact same reasons, probably the best left back I think personally we have ever seen in the Premiership. I know you've got left backs such as Patrice Evra, again a fantastic player, but personally, just in my opinion, I do think Ashley Cole was sensational. As we said again, number 1 for England over Leighton Baines for so many years. Just again reliable, same as Gary Neville, just reliable in that left back position, and again just an outstanding player, and that is why I would put him in the left back position in my all-time Premier League starting 11.
There was Lee Dixon as well.
Yeah, Lee Dixon again. Yeah, fantastic player, but
for Arsenal.
But for myself, yeah, I would say Ashley Cole.
Yeah, Ashley Cole definitely.
Now I have gone with the 4-3-1-2 formation, and I've gone with 3 central midfielders. Again, I'm going with their wingers. So I know people are thinking, why is Cristiano Ronaldo not in there? If I had wingers, then he would definitely be in that team. Again, what a player. And Adam, you went with him yourself, didn't you, mate?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I did.
But I think I wanted to go narrow because I think these 3 midfielders definitely deserve to be in there. And I also wanted that Cam in there, which we will come up to. So, yeah, starting midfielder, I'm going to go with Frank Lampard. Now, okay.
He was incredible.
I think the best midfielder ever in the Premiership. What a player. What a player.
The goals, I would say, as an attacking midfielder, like where your attacking midfielders, he would suit that a lot more. Yeah. Isn't he the most goal scoring midfielder in the Premier League with like 200 goals or something?
He's just insane. What he did for Chelsea for so many years. He's just so consistent, an unreal player, and just a lot of trophies, and a lot of glory. And again, I think the best midfielder to ever play in the Premiership. I know you didn't have him in your team.
No, he was. Yeah, with the 4-4-2, I just wanted more players like Scholes and Gerrard. I think Lampard's very similar to them, but I think he's a lot more attacking. But I think people forget. I mean, Lampard was really good, but I think people forget how good he was.
Yeah.
I mean, even EA don't respect him enough. But
No, not in FIFA, no.
no, but I think, people forget how good Frank Lampard was in the Premier League. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, so going on to my other midfielder is Patrick Vieira. Now, this was actually a tough one for me. It was either Vieira or Roy Keane. Now,
Tough.
I picked one of these two that are just, I would say, the toughest players to ever be in the Premiership. You wouldn't want to pick a fight with these guys, believe me. Them two together, I couldn't even imagine a fight between them two. It'd just be...
Well, they hated each other, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
They're always kicking each other.
Yeah, well, they were rivals for so many years, you know, both at top flight, the glory days for Arsenal and Manchester United. So they were both competing to be the best. But personally, I think Vieira was just the better out of the two. I think Roy Keane, again, was a fantastic player.
Yeah.
Personally, I would go with Patrick Vieira. Just some clips I've seen of him. Again, an absolute monster.
Monster, yeah.
Absolute monster. Just very well all-rounded. And... just that central midfielder.
Massive.
He's the perfect midfielder. He is the perfect midfielder, in my opinion.
He's massive. And, absolute tank.
Yeah, was insane in that Arsenal squad. So again, now, moving on to my other midfielder, Steven Gerrard. Now, this was a tough one. I was going to go with Gerrard or Scholes. I did go with Gerrard in the end. Just personally for what he's done. I think he was an unreal player, and again, as what we were talking about before, you know, the trophies he had, he didn't have a Premiership in that, which is a big thing missing for Gerrard. But again, he did look to move twice, and you know, he kept loyal to his boyhood club, which you know, respects
yeah,
Gerrard.
You gotta give him respect for that.
And he did well. He fought for that Premier League title. Unfortunately, it didn't happen for Gerrard in his career. We haven't seen Gerrard lift a Premier League trophy. But an outstanding player, and again, talking about that Champions League final, getting Liverpool back into that game with a header to make it 3-1 against AC Milan, and obviously winning that penalty that Xabi Alonso scored to make it 3-3. Just an absolute insane player, and
yeah, that header was incredible, wasn't it?
An insane career for Steven Gerrard.
Yeah, that header was incredible.
Yeah, an incredible header, and do you know what? It brought Liverpool back into that game.
Yeah,
and you know, it made Liverpool believe, and that's what Gerrard did.
Yeah.
He made players believe.
I know someone that was at that game as well. He said it was just the most unbelievable thing they've ever seen in their life. But you do believe them.
Yeah. Now, moving on to my central attacking midfielder. I know he's not really... He's a centre forward, but I needed to get this man into the squad, and that is the man himself, Dennis Bergkamp. Now, when I actually was thinking, when we talked about this, and we saw the comment from Will saying to, you know, our all-time best 11, I knew I wanted Dennis Bergkamp in there. He is, for me, an outstanding footballer for Arsenal, and that goal that he scored against Newcastle is just absolutely sensational.
I've never seen anything like it.
Sensational.
For skill, and the touch was perfect. The spin on the ball and everything. The thing is, he's standing there. The defender's like behind him on the right, sort of. He flicks it with his left foot on the right side of him and the defender. Manages to get round the defender through the left side, and then manages to get round the ball to right foot it into the bottom right corner. It was just incredible.
It's just perfection.
Perfection. Exactly that, just perfection.
And do you know what? He made it look so easy.
Exactly, yeah.
Against that Newcastle defence. I don't think, again, we could see any Premiership player now these days do that.
No, he was one of the most smoothest, composed, controlled forwards the Premier League's ever seen. A bit like Cantona. Just very similar players, but yeah, he's very, very good.
Now, moving on to my right striker out of the two. Now, this is a controversial one, okay? But growing up, I actually watched this man a lot. Okay, for Liverpool, this was kind of in the era when I started watching football, and I saw him play so much for Liverpool. And I know he didn't win much for Liverpool. He didn't get a Premiership, a Champions League. He got a Carabao Cup. Am I right by saying
Yeah,
that?
Carabao Cup. Yeah, I think so.
Got a
Yeah.
Carabao Cup. But this Luis Suarez for Liverpool, for the years that he was at Liverpool, is just, for me, the best player I think Liverpool have ever had.
Yeah.
And Adam, what do you think about that? Do you think?
I mean, there's a lot of debate in that, but you look at the Messis, you look at the Ronaldos in that era, probably the best ever players to ever grace the game, Messi, Ronaldo, in that era, 2013-14. The teams, if you look at their teams around them, I mean, Ronaldo had Kaká, Ramos, who else? Di Maria, all these insane players. Messi had Xavi, Iniesta, I think David Villa was there. But you look at Suarez and look at the team.
He started off with Andy Carroll, didn't he?
Exactly. You look at the team that Suarez was in. Exactly. Andy Carroll. You had your Sturridge. I mean, Sturridge was okay, but just for that, he was good for that season, really, for Liverpool.
Yeah.
I mean,
with Raheem Sterling.
He was decent. I mean, he was decent, but he's not a Di Maria, is he?
No. You know, he didn't have the experience of players like Angel Di Maria. You know, Suarez got 69 goals in 10 games. He had a few trouble in his career, you know, with biting players and stuff, and not many teams like him, which is totally understandable. But you know, the goals he scored, he scored things that I will never see another player ever in football score. He scored from impossible angles.
Yeah.
Do you think that's right, Adam?
There was a clip. There's a clip of Suarez. You might be able to find it on YouTube, but I don't think there was like a free kick right next to the sideline, and he just like belted it just without anyone noticing. I think it was against Newcastle, and just went past Tim Krul, and I think it was with his left foot, but it's just the most incredible thing, Suarez. Even that free kick against Man City and Everton,
and that header against Cardiff that he scored.
Yeah, outside the box. Yeah, absolutely incredible.
So fast, just perfection of the header, and an unreal player for Liverpool. You know, again, the players that he had around him. Kenny Dalglish brought him in at Liverpool.
Yeah,
and
in January.
No one expected it. You know, no one expected it. He went to Barcelona after more trophies, which is completely understandable. You know, after missing out on the Premier League title alongside with Steven Gerrard, but he would be personally in my all-time top 11 of the Premier League team, just due to the fact that I watched him growing up, and I think that he is just an insane footballer. And I would personally say that's the prime of his career, the 2013-2014.
Yeah, he was absolutely outstanding. But that we haven't talked about that goal against Newcastle.
No, yeah.
To bring that round the keeper, I mean, that's special.
That is special. Out of nowhere.
Even he scored. He loved playing against Norwich. That dipping goal versus Norwich.
Oh, how many goals did he score against Norwich? He scored tons of goals.
I mean, the one at home was like 4 goals, and then away was like 4 goals. It's just he loves scoring. Against
he gave John Ruddy a hard time, didn't he?
Poor John Ruddy. He used to play for Everton, I think. He's currently at Wolves, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he is. As like a backup goalkeeper or something.
He might even just be the backup or the subkeeper.
Yeah.
But yeah,
anyway.
Yeah.
Now going on to the left striker. Now, again, when we talked about this, talking about our top, our best 11 ever in the Premiership, Thierry Henry had to be in there.
Thierry Henry.
Personally, for me, I think he's the best player to ever play in the Premier League, to ever play in English football. Just, as you said before, we talked about. He had to be in both teams. I think he'd be in everyone's team.
Yeah.
Everyone's team that have a bit of sense.
Yeah.
Making a best 11 of the Premier League. Thierry Henry, just wow. What a player.
Like we talked about him in my team. He's just special. That Arsenal team. Let's just talk about the Arsenal team. I mean, Bergkamp, Henry, Perez, Lundberg, Vieira. Who else did they have? I mean, Sol Campbell, Colo Torre, Seaman,
yeah.
Who was it? Right back, Arsenal.
It's just also Manchester United had the glory days.
Yeah.
You can see them now struggling in the Premiership.
Both teams.
Both teams, yeah, struggling in the Premiership.
Times change.
And as you said there, times do change, and we've seen United and Arsenal have so many glory days. Under Arsene Wenger and Sir Alex Ferguson. But yeah, Thierry Henry, sensational player, and by far, I think personally the best player to ever grace the Premier League.
He was. I mean, there was a lot of strikers that we could have chose: Aguero, Drogba, Cantona, Andy Cole, Sheringham, Letizia.
Yeah, Sheringham.
There's so many good strikers that have graced this Premier League. I mean, strikers are the best players in the world. The forwards are the best players in the world. They score goals. They do magical things.
Yeah.
Defenders never get any credit, I think. Well,
we've seen Virgil van Dijk getting a lot of credit these days because I think.
But people are saying defenders can't win Ballon d'Ors, which I think is ridiculous. I mean, isn't Cannavaro the only defender to win Ballon d'Or?
I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure.
I think Levi Ashin's the only keeper, and then Cannavaro might be the only defender. I think that's what it is anyway. But a lot of people don't give, because they don't do these magical goals and special things that catch your eye. It's just they don't get enough credit for what they do. I mean, if you look at Van Dijk's stats, no one got past him last season.
No one dribbled past him last season.
What even is that for a stat? That's just inhuman.
Yeah.
If he gets to a couple of Premier Leagues, he will be
on that level of Nemanja Vidic or even above Nemanja Vidic.
As a player, he is better. But what Vidic and stuff have done is just incredible.
Yeah, and what they achieved. Yeah.
But yeah, this is both of our teams. If you have any changes to our teams, both of ours, leave it down in the comments down below.
And also, boys, I just want to say, also in the comments, do make sure to put down who you think is the best team. Myself, Miles's starting 11 team, or Adam's starting 11 team. We're interested to see whose you think is the best, and yeah, let's see, boys. And also, as Adam just said, who you think should get in your personal starting 11 in the best of the Premier League.
Yep. Right, do you want to move over? We're going to talk about, I mean, this is going to go up Sunday, the 16th, I think.
16th, yeah.
So, Champions League knockout stages. Champions League is back on the Tuesday and Wednesday. We've got a few score predictions for the games, man and Miles. So we'll see who gets them right. Talking on Champions League, I think some tough, really tough games. Are these games just for Tuesday, or are these for Tuesday and Wednesday?
Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
And Thursday. There's a Champions League game on Thursday. Right.
No,
okay.
No, Tuesday the 25th. Sorry.
Right. Okay.
Tuesday the 18th, Wednesday the 19th, Tuesday the 25th.
Right. Okay. So yeah, first game, Dortmund are home to PSG. What do you think about that one, Miles? What do you think the score will be?
Well, is Haaland able to play in that? Do you know?
He is.
Okay, well that's a big difference. Is he above the level Mbappe was at when he was 18? Do you think?
No.
No.
Haaland's 19, is he? But Mbappe he still is sensational. Still only young.
Yeah,
people forget.
Haaland, wow, what a start to this season for Haaland, getting that mega move to Borussia Dortmund, and already starting at Dortmund with just as people. I've actually seen some people say too many goals. It's actually just absolutely insane how many goals that man scores. Is he going to be a future legend for Norway? Let's see. So yeah, he could be big threat for Borussia Dortmund in this Champions League campaign with Jadon Sancho, and that Dortmund team does look very scary. And for PSG, they've got to have a big defense out there to handle them boys.
Yeah, I mean, Dortmund are at home. The Dortmund atmosphere, the German atmosphere is absolutely incredible. So PSG will definitely have a tough game. PSG always dominating the league. Always struggled in Champions League. I think that's the one thing that they're going for, a bit like Man City. But yeah. PSG, I think this could be their year because I think Barcelona aren't as good. I think Real Madrid are decent, but they obviously don't have Ronaldo. They're not relying on him. They're not as good. So I honestly think it'll be maybe if Liverpool can keep the players fit, Liverpool PSG final if they don't come up against each other beforehand. Okay. But I've gone with a 2-2, same as you.
Yeah, I've also gone with the 2-2. Yeah. I just think at Dortmund, I think they won't be losing, but I can't also see them winning against a team as like PSG. So I think a 2-2 is a fair result, and that's what we both agree with. I think that the score will be. So let's see on the Tuesday, the 18th.
Well, with Dortmund, their attack is absolutely immense, but they have struggled to keep clean sheets, and they are leaking quite a lot of goals in the league. So yeah, I think that's a fair result. Me and Miles gone with the same thing, 2-2. Let's see if we get that one right. Next game, massive game. Atletico Madrid, Liverpool. Personally, I've gone with 1-1. I don't think Liverpool could win a game. Again, going back to, was it the Metropolitano, is it?
Yeah.
The stadium when when they won the Champions League last season. The atmosphere in there, the Spanish giants, like the top three teams, Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Atletico Madrid, their atmosphere is absolutely incredible. The stadium's massive, isn't it? So, it's always tough. Atletico have got really solid defense. I know they don't have Godin anymore, who was a rock in that back line, but they're still really decent. They haven't been doing. I don't think correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I don't think they've been doing as well this season. But they're still doing solid. But yeah, I think it's a 1-1. What do you think, Miles?
Well, this game was a hard one. Like Liverpool, the winners last season against Atletico Madrid away again. It's going to be difficult for Liverpool. They do struggle on a visit to Spain. Obviously, they didn't in the Champions League final, but that was against an English team. That wasn't against a Spanish team at their ground with their fans there, with their support. And I think, looking back at the last 16 last year for Liverpool, it was a 0-0 draw away at Bayern Munich. I think we'll do the same. No, sorry, it was
0-0 at home. Yeah.
It was 0-0 at home, which was the first leg. But I think the first leg again this year will be a 0-0 draw away in Spain and in Madrid, and I think it'll be a tough game for Liverpool. I think a 0-0 result would be a good result for Liverpool. Could bring it back to Anfield and do what they do the best at Anfield, and and keep on this run in the Champions League. Yeah,
well, just look. You said it's about tough. We both said about it's being tough in Spain. Just look at last season Barcelona, 3-0. I mean, we couldn't handle them. We couldn't finish our chances. Couldn't handle them. It was 3-0. We all thought it was over, but we all know what Anfield can do. Spurs Leipzig. Spurs are home at the new stadium. They haven't been doing well. I think they've just lost it, haven't they? They've lost that firepower. Kane's injured.
Yeah, I think Son's not the same player as he was last season.
No, he's not.
Well.
He's not.
He's not performing as well as he has done. Again, Heung-min Son's an absolutely outstanding player, but he's not working to his full potential this season. And Mourinho needs to get that out of him.
Yeah.
But personally, for me, I think Spurs will win this one, and that's just down to the fact of experience. We've seen Tottenham get to the Champions League final last year, which was insane for Tottenham. To get to that Champions League final, a massive opportunity playing Ajax, which were a fantastic team. But I can just see Spurs scraping this one at home. I think they'll scrape it with 1-0 potentially, or potentially even a 2-0 with like a
lucky,
last minute lucky winner or something. And I think it'll just be down to Jose Mourinho and his experience in the Champions League. With Chelsea and he's a great manager. He's gone for the bold look. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
He's gone for the Pep Guardiola, which isn't the best in the Champions League with Manchester City. But I think it'll be Spurs 2, Leipzig 0. What about you, Adam?
I've gone for a slightly different approach. I've gone Tottenham 1, Leipzig 3. I just think Mourinho's too defensive. He'll sit back, won't go for it. Leipzig are just absolutely amazing on the counter-attack. And Upamecano, I watched the Bayern Munich game the other day. It was 0-0. Upamecano is so good. I mean, I think he's rumoured to come to the Premier League, but him at the back, I don't think... I mean, they have Ali, Bergwijn, Lucas, Son. Honestly, I don't think they get past their defence. They've got Gulacsi, is that how you say it? In goal?
Yeah, Gulacsi.
He's decent. He is decent.
Former Liverpool goalkeeper.
Yeah. They have Klosterman. They have the Upamecano. I'm not sure who else plays. It might be Konate.
Yeah, Konate,
and then they have Hasselberg. Then the midfield, they have like Campbell and stuff. But Werner's absolutely incredible. He should have scored on the weekend, but everyone makes mistakes.
And Yusuf Poulsen as well.
Yusuf Poulsen, yeah. Yeah,
the Danish striker. He's very tall. 6'4".
6'4", yeah, he's massive.
So he's a massissive threat up front with Timo Werner.
Yeah.
And they're on fire this season, Leipzig. So
it'll
be an interesting game. But personally, I think Spurs will get the win just due to the fact of experience.
It'd be interesting to see Dani Olmo play as well. I think he was playing against. I think he was playing against Bayern Munich. He was all right, but just settling. I think he should be able to play in the Champions League as well. Coming from Zagreb, is it?
Yeah, Dynamo Zagreb, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, that'll be an interesting game. Me and Mars have gone for different approaches. So let's see who gets that one right. It could be even a draw, but next game, Chelsea Bayern Munich. I mean, it's had some historic games over the years with this game.
We talked about it before, didn't we? About Drogba being potentially in our starting 11s, but I personally think it'll be Bayern Munich 3, Chelsea 1. I don't think Frank Lampard has got it with that Chelsea squad. I don't think there's enough experience in there for such a massive game. It's at home the first leg, but then they've got to visit the Allianz Arena, and it's going to be super difficult for Chelsea. So I think it will be 3-1 to Bayern Munich at Stamford Bridge. But again, it'll be a very tough game for Chelsea, and Bayern have just got that experience with Robert Lewandowski.
He's incredible.
Performing insanely this year.
Yeah, I just think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've gone for a 2-1 Chelsea win. I don't know. I just feel like Chelsea will be so pumped up. I think Kante will have an amazing game. I think Kovacic, if he plays, he'll have an amazing game.
Yeah.
He might play Mason Mount. I think they'll all just be so up for it with the crowds. Champions League knockout. I mean, they were really good. It was a tough group they had, and they managed to pull through and get into the knockouts. But now knockout stages, I think they'll just be up for it. Abraham might get both goals. I just think they'll be up for it.
He's isn't he, Tammy Abraham?
You can score goals and not be inexperienced. Look at Haaland. He's not inexperienced, is he? Mbappe. Well, he's won the World Cup, but they can. I reckon. I just feel like. I know Bayern Munich are absolutely incredible. They've got Lewandowski and Thomas Muller and all these amazing players, but I just think Chelsea will be up for it.
Yeah.
So, final game. Napoli Barcelona. Talk to me about this one, Miles.
Napoli, interesting. Done well to get to the last 16, considering the form they've been in this season.
Yep.
Obviously, Carlo Ancelotti left to go to Everton.
Yep.
And they're in a bit of a state at the moment, Napoli. Although, I think they're a very good team, and they did get a win earlier on in this Champions League campaign against Liverpool at home. And do you know what? I think it's a very good ground, a great atmosphere.
Yep.
At the Napoli ground. So I think it's going to be tough for Barcelona. I think they will go and get 2 goals, but I can't see Napoli drawing or winning at home against Barcelona.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a tough one, and I think it'll be a very close game. But I can just personally see Barcelona just winning by 2-1. I think it'll be 2-1, and I think in the second leg at the new camp, it'll just finish it off by Barcelona.
Yeah. I think Napoli are about 10th in the league, so yeah, I don't even know who their manager is. I can't remember. But they've been, since Ancelotti left, I mean, he got sacked. They even won in the Champions League, and the same night he got sacked. So I don't know why, but there's just all stuff going on. But it hasn't been great since he left. I think that, yeah, like I said, I think the 10th. But it's always tough to go to Italy. Like, Barcelona went there. Roma got the comeback on them. Liverpool, two visits to Napoli, haven't won any of them. I think we lost both of them? I think.
Yeah.
Lost both of them. Liverpool in the semi-final against Roma when Liverpool did lose the final. Even against Roma, didn't we lose that game? Or did we draw the second leg at Roma? It was a win or a draw, I think. Cause
I think it was a draw.
It might have been a draw, yeah. It's always tough in Italy anyway. But Napoli, their form isn't great. I've gone for a 3-0 win for Barcelona away. Yeah, like I said, Napoli aren't doing great, so I think Barcelona just stomp all over them, to be honest. I think Suarez is injured. I'm unsure about Griezmann. I know Ousmane Dembele is out for 6 months.
Out, yeah, for 6 months.
6 months he's had a surgery on his thigh or hamstring or something. But yeah, they did try and find a striker, I think, in the January transfer window. Didn't get one, but they do have Ansu Fati, who's been doing really well on that left wing for them. Yeah. So I don't know who's playing. Is it excuse me? It's a Fati left wing, Griezmann down the middle, Messi right wing. Is that how they do it?
Well, I'm not sure at the moment. I know they've got Abel Ruiz as well, who play run. We continue out on loan. They're a bit stuck for choice really now. Barcelona, with Suarez out at the moment, Ousmane Dembele out for 6 months, and Coutinho out on loan, who actually I heard say the other day he doesn't actually want to return to Barcelona. Yeah. So they're in a bit of a crisis at the moment. Yeah. For attackers, but I think Barcelona will come out on top. So at the end of the day, they're Barcelona. They're known as the best team in the world. Maybe not at the moment, but yeah, just sensational football team, and I think can go anywhere and potentially get a win on their day. Yeah.
Right, they were our 2-11. Miles, have you got anything to say before we wrap up this podcast, mate?
Yeah, they are our personal starting 11 teams that we would of all time in the Premiership. So as we said before, if you've got any changes or what would you want to do to your team, make sure to put them down below. We may look at them in the next podcast, in 2 podcasts time. I'm going away, so we'll have to pre-record the video that will be coming out next week. So it will be an exciting one, boys. So make sure to stick around for that one. But yeah, boys, I think they are our predictions. Let's see if we are right. We have done them beforehand, so we can see. And yeah, we will talk about them as soon as the results are out, boys.
Yeah. So again, thanks for Miles for giving your team. I've been Son of Kenner.
And I've been Miles HD.
Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, on Instagram. Their links down and below. And yeah, thanks for popping into episode 2 of the podcast. Again, like Miles said, subjects down below. It won't be next podcast, it'll be the podcast after. Like Miles said, he's going away. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and catch you later. See you later, guys.
Peace.